Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin, and today we're unboxing Lenovo ThinkPad P52. So this is a workstation PC, as is all of the ThinkPad P series machines. It's very powerful. So the one you're probably most familiar with is the ThinkPad P1. That was meant to be sort of like an X1 but for workstations. The X1 is obviously the ThinkPad premium lineup, but as I also mentioned in my video about the P72, which I also recently unboxed, is that the P series works a little differently, because if you want the best of what a ThinkPad has to offer, you go for the X1. But on the P series side, it's not exactly like that, because the most powerful workstation ThinkPads are not the P1, because that was meant to be thin and light and powerful for its size. But we have some bigger machines that have more powerful. This one has a Core i7 8850H and Quadro P3200 with Max Q, so that's a 6GB GPU. So I'm excited. Let's get it open. The P72, that one's cool. It's a little too big, and it's really the most powerful ThinkPad that they offer. So this one isn't quite as powerful, and also this is a Core i7. You can get it with the Xeon, like the P72 had. You get it with the Xeon, and it really just depends on your use case. So here, this one does not have a battery pre-installed in it, as I can feel as I took it out. So we're just gonna slide this open, and hopefully I can find a battery in here somewhere. Otherwise, this is gonna be a really quick video. This should be our power cable, and hopefully we'll find a battery in here, because it is a very heavy box for what's inside. We have a 170 watt power adapter, power cable here, and we will find the battery in here, which is cool. So the good news about that is you can swap batteries if you don't like the battery life of this PC, and I can tell you right now, the battery life is not going to be good. I can tell you that you can either have power or you can have battery life. You can't have both. So yeah, you can swap it out for batteries with more capacity or whatever you want. So let's just get this in here. All right. So we have two USB Type A ports and display port over here, along with a 3.5mm combo audio. Over here, we have an SD card reader and another USB Type A port. We got more ports on the back, Ethernet, HDMI, a pair of Thunderbolt 3 ports, and of course, power. It uses Lenovo's proprietary charger, which looks a little too much like USB Type A, if you ask me. I can promise you that if you buy this laptop, at some point in your ownership, you will either try to put this in a USB Type A port, or you will try to put a USB Type A cable in the power port. Not a big deal, obviously, but it's just one of those things that annoys me. I want everything to be USB Type C, especially for charging. I want one charger that I can use for everything. It's not going to happen. This is a 170 watt charger, and I don't think you could get a USB Type C 170 watt charger, because, well, the biggest one I've ever seen is 130 watt from Dell. So that's all we got for that. We're going to have to stick with this for the foreseeable future. This thing weighs in at 5.4 pounds, and it's just under an inch thick. So it's big, it's heavy, it's powerful. It's a 15.6-inch 4K display, which is nice. I like that as the size. I do think 17 inches is a little too big, especially just if you're going to bring it around places. 17 inches is not easy. It doesn't fit in most bags. It's troublesome. So 15 inches is kind of like that sweet spot for me. I can put this in a bag. It's going to weigh down the bag a lot. This is a heavy machine. Although 5.4 pounds is not that bad for the size. You see that while this is a powerful machine, the 170 watt charger is smaller than what the P72 came with, or what the Legion Y740 came with. Both of them came with 230 watt chargers. So this isn't as power hungry, which is a good thing and a bad thing, depending on what you want to do with it, right? Like I said, you either get power or you get battery life. You just can't have both. That's not how it works. So we're gonna have 16 gigs of RAM in here, 512 SSD, and a terabyte HDD. We can see that it uses the older ThinkPad design. So last year at CES, we're talking 2018 CES, they announced the new X1 Carbon, X1 Yoga, and X1 Tablet. And those had a newer ThinkPad logo where it's like kind of a glossy black, almost like a black/chrome look. And they also had black hinges, and the body was a darker shade of black. And so this is using that older... See, that newer design was meant for premium models, and that's where I get mixed up, because the new... There was also a new X1 logo. So the P1 had the new ThinkPad logo. It didn't have the X1 logo because it's not technically an X1. But that had the premium logo, and to me, this is the more premium PC because it's got the power. It's got power that the P1 does not have. And so that's just... I mean... It's just a design thing, not a big deal. This machine is made out of glass fiber reinforced polymer. The bottom is made out of magnesium and aluminum. And we can see that this is where that battery came in that I had to put in there. Lots of ventilation, as we can see. But yeah, it's sturdy like a ThinkPad. It doesn't have that carbon fiber feel that we've seen from other machines. All ThinkPads are meant to be somewhat extreme as far as being rugged. They're all meant to be dropped or stand up to extreme temperatures and such. All right, so if you watched my ThinkPad P52 video, then you can see that's a pretty similar design. Trackpad is to the left, 2 sets of physical buttons over here. All right, this one's obviously meant to go more with the track point. We have a fingerprint sensor over here. Dolby audio speakers, which fire right up at you. So you should see better audio quality than we've seen from ThinkPads of years past. Okay, you can see this, like I said, this does not have that carbon fiber feel or look. But other than that, it's a pretty standard ThinkPad laptop design. Power button in the corner. A convertible would have it on the side. You know, standard stuff. It's got one of the best keyboards that you're going to use. That's kind of hands down, I'll tell you right now. It is one of the best keyboards you're going to use. ThinkPads have phenomenal keyboards. They're precise, they're accurate, they're comfortable to type on. They're really just great. Okay, the display is 15.6 inches, and it is 4K. Now, the spec sheet does not say that it has Dolby Vision, something that Lenovo has been pushing in its ThinkPads recently, but this one does not have it as far as I know. But it's a fine looking display, and this one actually has touch. So you can see it does look quite nice. There's no junkware on here that's put by Lenovo. All the junk that you see is courtesy of Microsoft. This is a commercial PC. It's a business PC, and obviously we have our Candy Crush, our, what is that, Royal Revolt 2, whatever this stuff is, that no one wants. Easily uninstallable. Lenovo Vantage is the one thing Lenovo does put on there. That is your one-stop shop for your drivers, system settings, and so on. I'm not connected to the internet, and we really don't need to go any further here, but that's that. Okay, so really what you're looking at is P72 on a smaller scale. This one has a Core i7-8850 H processor. It does not have Windows 10 Pro for workstations, although I'm going to check the configuration to see if the Xeon configurations do come with Pro for workstations, because that would make sense. The 8850H, that is the V Pro model. So I believe the base model comes with the 8750H, but that is a hexa-core 45-watt chip, 12 threads. And it's among the best in Core i processors, without going Core i9, I guess. We can take a closer look at this machine. Like I said, it's thick. It's almost an inch thick. It will have a 180-degree hinge, as all ThinkPad clamshells do. ports on the back, which is great. I love the power port on the back. I love that it makes cable management so much easier. And then of course we have our two USB Type A ports and mini display port over here and the headphone jack. Okay guys, it's time to talk about pricing. This is a very powerful machine. Do not expect it to be cheap. So, it starts at $11.29. Sounds cheap. Sounds cheap for premium. And if you want Xeon, it starts at $15.39. And that's a E2176M. So if you want the 86M, that's going to be something like $300 more. But we're talking about this configuration. Now let's see how much this model costs. So that $11.29 price, that includes the Core i7-8750H. So it's going to be another $212 for the 8850H. And it also includes Windows 10 Home, which is a real bummer. ThinkPads tend to come with Windows 10 Pro, so I kind of wish that was included in the price, but it's just $30 more, which is not bad. Even for an OEM upgrade, that is not bad. And if you buy it with Home, it's going to cost you $99 to upgrade. So get Pro, especially for a machine like this. You might want to use Hyper-V or something like that. Just get Pro. It's $30. You're spending a lot of money anyway. So next up, we're looking at an additional $403 to upgrade from 1080p to 4K. And we're also looking at $106 to upgrade from 8 gigs of RAM to 16 gigs of RAM. You can also configure it with up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. But that's going to cost you roughly $1,400 extra to get that 128 gigs. But hey, that's pretty cool that you can configure it with that much RAM. Phenomenal. But we're sticking with 16 gigabyte pricing right now. So far, we're up to $1,909. So with that price, we get a Quadro P1000 4 gigabyte GPU. So we're going to upgrade that to the P3200, which is what comes in here. It's a 6 gigabyte GPU, which is not bad considering the size. I gotta say the P72 has a 16 gigabyte P5200, so it's worth noting. But that's going to be $467 to get the GPU that's in this machine. Okay, so now we're up to $2,376. That includes no SSD and it includes a 500 gigabyte hard drive. Now, for the 512 gigabyte SSD, it's another $562 and $329 for the upgrade to a 1 terabyte hard drive. So that puts us at $3,267 for this unit right here. And you can max it out at way beyond that. The good news about it is that it is fully customizable. You can decide what you want. You might want more RAM. For a powerful machine like this, you probably want a good 32 gigs of RAM, if not 64. But hey, I mean, you're probably buying this because you have a specific use for it, so you probably know the specs that you need. But not a cheap machine. Shouldn't be a cheap machine. There's a lot of great stuff in here, and I'm really excited to spend the next few weeks with it. So that's it. I'll have a review in, I'm going to say, about a month. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.